Dave made this beat.
Welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 318. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy. Welcome back, Slack fam, and my brother A-Dub. What's good, gang?
What's good? Yeah, man, I'm glad to be back. Yeah, I missed y'all last week. But had to, how life goes, and you got to handle some business sometimes. And so I appreciate you holding down the fort, you and Marcus, obviously, always. But yeah, definitely glad to be back with the Slack family. We got Pops in the building already, and we got Anthony Weston as well. And I see some others out there. As always, we appreciate you guys liking the show, commenting, being a part of the show, and just your overall support means the most to us. So if you're out there, drop a comment, let us know so we can shout you out and make you part of the show. We have not too big of an agenda, but definitely some different things to touch on. And so we'll get into our round robin really quickly. But before we do, Strizzy, just a quick check-in, man. How you feeling? How you doing?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm saying September was a really busy month for me in regards to just like regular 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully can get some of these things wrapped up. Hopefully tomorrow, a couple of meetings to wrap these up things tomorrow, hopefully. And then October should be pretty chill, man. End of the year for us for my 9 to 5 job is generally pretty slow for my department. So hopefully I can wrap this up and just get back to my norm, because I missed out on a lot of just like going live and streaming, gaming and stuff for September, especially after August was such a big month.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully to get back to my normal content creating ways. Got some new content coming out. Dropped some the other day. But yeah, aside from that, man, everything's straight. What about you?
Yeah, man, everything's good. Same. September was a busy month for sure for me as well. Just had a lot of different things going on. Most importantly, Luna's birthday. So it was dope. But yeah, I look at the calendar and tomorrow's October. Pretty crazy. And we know how the holidays now, once the holidays get cracking, it's just a blur until the first of the year, man. So
dude, for real.
So just, buckle your chin strap, you know what I'm saying? Get ready for the ride. But yeah, as Anthony Weston says, the year went by fast. It did. I mean,
too fast.
Yeah, and 2026, here we come. So, but yeah, no, things are really good, and I definitely was checking out some of your new stuff though. Click all the bicycles. That was dope,
all
man.
the bicycles.
Yeah, that was dope. So yeah, if you guys aren't following us on the social side too, make sure you're following Strizzy. He's got a lot of different content too, and it's really cool. Obviously, we love the podcast, but it's only a piece of what we do as far as out here on the interweb. So definitely check us out. Quick plug. So
we out here.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into week 4 of the NFL. We'll jump into that as our first topic. And just looking at some of the results here, I always love to just kind of throw it out there, like what surprised you, what didn't. And I have a few questions, but here is kind of the Sunday games in the middle there. But you got the Thursday night, which it's always funny. Like usually the weekend of games are so good that I forget what was Thursday. And Thursday was a great game as well. And then a doubleheader on Monday night. So anything jump out to you? I know Anthony already. He's sending some emojis, sending some code. I think there's one that jumps out to him. But what about you? What did you like this weekend?
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll definitely get into your boys. I definitely kind of want to hit the Panthers up too. Like I think it's time. So usually we give quarterbacks about 3 years to kind of find their place in the league, and like I just really think it's time for them to start really thinking about life after Bryce. I just don't think it's going to work out. It's like me and Anthony were actually talking this weekend, and we were talking about undersized quarterbacks, and like when you're an undersized quarterback, you have to have certain attributes to kind of balance that out, right? Like if you're undersized, you have to be mobile, you have to be quick to be able to extend the play, get away from the defensive linemen and things of that nature. You have to have or a big arm, you got to be able to get it downfield. Or just like really really high accuracy. You know what I'm saying? We think of guys like Drew Brees, big arm, very accurate, could even move when he wanted to. He just really didn't. You know what I mean?
But also very smart to anticipate those windows and
100%, man. But again, it goes back to the accuracy, right? Yeah. Even Kyler, I'm not Kyler's biggest fan, but he definitely has some legs that can move. And he also has a really big arm as well, right? And like the thing that just really bothers me about Bryce is like he just lacks in all three of those. You know what I mean? So like not only is he undersized, the accuracy isn't there. He's got one of the weakest arms I've ever seen, honestly. I'm not just saying that to come down on him. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty bad. Like I got to actually see it in person. You know what I mean? Well, a couple of weeks ago when they played the Cardinals, and man, it was bad. You know what I mean? It was just really, really kind of bad and then kind of rough to see. And then our defense came through big time against the Falcons last week. But when you look at Bryce's game, he really didn't play well. Our defense just really came through. You know what I mean? Like he didn't really have to do much in that game for them to win it.
Right.
And then we get absolutely dismantled by the Patriots this weekend. And I think the Patriots are on a upward path, but they're not beating us by 42-13 is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like they're not that good yet. So I think it really is time for them to like. It sucks because I know like the organization is like, we love Bryce. He's such a good guy. He's everything you want your franchise quarterback to be. But I'm like, but personality ain't winning games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Personality.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. No, for real. It's like I wish they could. If they did, we'd be undefeated. But man, I don't see it. I've never seen it. I never liked the draft pick in the first place. I wanted to give him a chance.
Yeah.
For me, like if I could go back in time, it was always Stroud for me. You know what I'm saying? But neither here nor there. But I just really think they need to really look at that. You know what I mean? And really go, if we look at the last 3 years, is this our quarterback of the future? And I just don't think it is.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. But if we continue to lose games, we look at the top quarterbacks in the next draft, and we kind of pull it. Not necessarily Kyler Murray, because it's not like we drafted a quarterback the year after he was drafted, but we might have to look elsewhere.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand, and it is hard, especially because this year's crop of quarterbacks isn't that great. Just kind of like last year's, right? There's not like a clear guy out there
not yet.
Exactly. So we'll see. And that's what is hard about the draft too, is because they always try to say like there's 3 or 4 different guys. These are franchise quarterbacks, but it's like really they're rare, man. They're not every. Sure. It's like every 3-4 years some guy comes out like that, or somebody sits behind and really takes their time and grows into the game and stuff like that. So it's tough. We'll see. I want to welcome in Stephanie to the show.
Oh, Steph.
What's good, Miss Washington, and also Unk. Hello from Texas. Yep. Thank you for joining us. And Anthony Weston says mock draft time. Small quarterbacks either have to have a strong arm, be mobile. Yep. And then he says Penn State's quarterback Drew Aller. We'll see. I mean, he seems like a solid candidate, but it's tough, man, because we love potential, but it's like not so many guys can just come into the league and just be that. So
I was telling him too. It's like I've said this many a times. Like it's been a really long time since Bama's produced a real NFL quarterback. Like you think back, like it's been 40 years, probably more than that.
It's a lot of game managers and stuff.
For sure. And a lot of the recent guys are all backups now. You know what I'm saying? So it's rough. You know what I mean? Like they're a great college organization, but they don't always produce the best NFL quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
and again, even if they
said too.
Even if they try to take credit for Jalen Hurts too, I don't think they really can, because he went to Oklahoma and was like opened it up more over there
and balled out there. Yeah, like he had his best statistical season as a college athlete with OU under Riley. So yeah, man, I said all the time, I was like, yeah, they had him, but he got drafted out of OU. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I don't know. If anything, Bama probably hurt his draft stock because they went with Tua over him. So you know what I mean?
True.
So really, Oklahoma really did him a solid by getting him in where he got in. So yeah,
we'll see. Anthony does say too, Hurts is not exactly lighting up the scoreboard.
True,
that's true. But he has one
right, and
he has everything right. Ring. So
yeah, and he does.
That's hard to argue. Ring. As far as in terms of success, so we'll see.
I wouldn't even mind having a guy like Hurts. Makes the right decisions. He's mobile. When the pass breaks down, he can take off, and he just makes the right decisions. I think a lot of people take that for granted. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't need a guy who's just going to put up 300 plus yards every game, just as long as he can put you in positions to win. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like I'll never compare him to Pat, but even when Pat doesn't have the offensive weapons he still puts them in positions to win because he makes the right decisions and doesn't make mistakes. So just give me a quarterback like that. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nothing. I don't need Pat Mahomes. I just need something, somebody who's going to go in there and win, even when he doesn't have all the right pieces to get it done.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Pat Mahomes, Anthony Weston says, quote, "The Raven nevermore." Yeah, the Chiefs definitely did a number on the Ravens. They had the offense back clicking, and the defense was doing their thing. And for whatever reason, Spags, he always shuts down the Ravens, especially when it's like these big games. And that should have been a big game for the Ravens, but it was a big game for both teams. Like, nobody wants to be 1-3 in the first quarter of the season like that. And the Ravens, Lamar did go out of that game. I think he's day-to-day. I think he's going to be fine. Hopefully he doesn't miss any time, but they're definitely in trouble.
He's missing time. I think he's out for 2 to 3 weeks.
They did? Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah, he's out for 2 to 3 weeks, it looks like. So I'm guessing he's out until the
bye or what?
The bye, and then they'll probably reevaluate after the bye.
Oh, man. See, that's bad news. So I know it's early, but is this – because I know the Ravens is kind of like your pet team too. Is this like, is this it for the Ravens or what, especially in their division?
I'd say if they're smart, you know what I mean? Like, probably. I don't know if you realize this, but like almost every single starting player for the Ravens defense was out.
Yeah.
Like the linebackers and everybody on the defensive line. Nobody's a starter on the defensive line. So not to give, not to take away from the Chiefs getting a really big victory of the Ravens, but that entire defense right now is depleted. Like, literally everybody's out. And then Lamar goes out. So, like, if they lose, let's say they lose these next 3 games, I doubt it. They've, for some reason, even with Cooper Rush, I think they'll still somehow beat the Texans. They kind of owned the Texans the last 7-8 years. Yeah. But even if they lose these last 3 games, I don't know if it's worth it for Lamar to come back this year. Like, just call it a wash, fire because he got to go. He needed to leave since last year. And honestly, it would be kind of crazy for them to have like a really high pick in the draft, considering when they're healthy, they're this good. They're that good. So, I would say, honestly, depending on how these next 3 games go, just sit Lamar for the end of the season and figure things out. Get ready for the draft, like us. You know what I'm saying? Figure it out.
Yeah, they have the Texans next week, the Rams after that, and then they have their bye week. Yeah. They come off of the bye against the Bears. So so maybe these next 2 games plus the bye week, that gives them 3 weeks to get healthy and see where they're at. But
see where they're at.
Unc said, "How did Cooper Rush look?" Anthony West said, "Not great." And he didn't look great, but he's we've seen what he did for the Cowboys. So given a week of practice and given a game plan built around him, he can do you a solid, or at least you won't lose the game because of him. He could just hold you in there. So,
and it's his first year, and it's his first year in this offense. He had plenty of time with the Cowboys before, having to take over for Dak when Dak went out. So I think a week in and playing. And honestly, the Texans don't look good either. You know what I mean? Yeah, they beat up on the Titans, but it's the Titans. So I think if Cooper Rush can go in there with a week of practice and getting a feel for his guys, I think they'll actually be okay. Derrick Henry's still out there for sure, so he'll be fine. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Spags, he's the only defensive coordinator that year after year makes Lamar look normal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he plays them so well. Me and my boy Dave, Dave was a huge Ravens fan too. We were just like, we're putting our money on KC. I was like, absolutely. Like, as much as I love the Ravens, as much as I hope they're going to win, I knew they weren't. Like, they just can look superhuman against everybody else. But when it comes to KC, they just, dude, it was like the first quarter. You could just see it. I was like, oh, it's done. Like, mentally, they're just not strong enough to beat them. You know what I'm saying? So, and until they somehow get over that mental hump, KC is going to have their number. So yeah, man, it was rough to watch because it's like, who are y'all right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, with them being kind of like my AFC side piece, it was like, who are y'all right now? Like, y'all giving, it's only the first quarter. You're only down, like, it was like 13 or something like that to 3 or something. It was still early. You know what I mean? So I was like, y'all are still very much in this game, and their heads were down. They look beat already. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, hats off to Spags. Like, he plays Lamar and the boys so freaking well every time they play.
Yeah. Yeah, and coming off that loss to the Lions, I think they were trying to come out, and that's another big game, right? So that's tough.
Fourth quarter turnovers.
Right. Unc says, when are we going to see Shedeur play? And so we're not probably, but this week there is talk that they're going to be benching Joe Flacco, the Browns, and actually starting Dylan Gabriel in the game. I think it's the Vikings, right? It's a UK game.
Yeah, Vikings.
So that'll be the early morning Sunday. But Gabriel putting a rookie quarterback against our homeboy, the defensive coordinator for the Vikings, is probably not a good idea for his right. First game out there. But we'll see.
Said honestly, man, better him than Shedeur though.
Just put out Flacco is what I'm saying.
Oh no,
give him another week.
Same. I just don't, because like I said, they've been doing everything they can to mess with Shedeur. So I'm like, hey, if you want to throw Dylan in there for him to get beat up, you know what I'm saying? Cool. I'm all for it, because they've been doing everything they can to just destroy Shedeur and, you know, say who he is. Like, I don't know. I'm watching the Bengals, man. Bengals need to make I don't want them to trade for him, because as soon as Burrow gets back, it's, you know, back to the bench. But Bengals need to trade for our boy Jambo.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah. They do, because he'll go over there and just throw the ball around, and at least, you know, he'll at least score you some points and keep you in some games, even though their defense is trash too. But at least do something, because the last 2 weeks now, I think they've scored like 10 points or 6 points or something like that. In each game, they only 3 this week, and I think only 3 against the Vikings or something like that. So
yeah,
it's looking bad. But speaking of that too, the Giants look like they might have their quarterback, maybe not for the future, but for right now, Jackson Dart. He played well, got them a win. Yeah, got them a win over the undefeated Chargers. So that was a pretty cool one. But I think also it's like, that's a reminder, right? In this league, it's like some of the differences aren't that much as far as like your record goes, especially earlier this year. The Chargers haven't played so great. And the Giants caught him, but the whole thing that sucks is Neighbors went down for the year.
I know, that's rough.
So
man.
Just when they were getting a little bit of momentum, they lose their best weapon on offense, and that's rough.
It's funny too, because like, you know, I mean, ASU guy, like I love seeing Scat do his thing, man. He's been fun to watch. He's a monster, bro. Like he's so good, but it's funny, you know what I mean? Like he's what, fifth round pick? Yeah. 5th round, and he's already like the best running back they got. He's probably gonna be the best receiver they got too. So I think it's gonna be the rookies, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing for a little while. So fun to watch, because I do like Dart, and I love Scat. So it sucks to say, because I know they're in your guys' division, but those two might be fun to watch. I don't the Giants. I don't like the Giants at all, but those two might actually be fun to watch this season.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. And that's cool, man, because I like when the teams are at least have something going for them, you know, some kind of excitement. And I know that's a big media state too. So there's a lot of fans out there, and they need something to be excited about.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that I think Scatterbo, he reminds me of and I know I shouldn't say it. It's not only skin color, but he does remind me of Peyton Hillis. Like, I do think like he can have like a really really fun career, but he might crash out after like 2-3 years or something like that, just by the way he plays.
Hard. Yeah. He goes, but it's gonna
be fun to watch all along the way, for sure.
Before we get into the Dallas game, we talk about injuries to Neighbors. Also want to talk about Tyreek Hill's injury too.
Last night, that's rough.
Man, that looked nasty. What was crazy though was just like
ACL.
Yeah. And it was crazy too, because it was like, I don't know if it was adrenaline, but he didn't look like he was in pain at all. He looked like, hey, I'm cool, y'all. Yeah. He was waving. He was saying yes.
Joking.
Joking around. And I think a lot of people were laughing because he was, screaming yes when he was being carted out. But they were saying that, like, he's happy he don't have to play with Tua no more. Well, it was just crazy. But
that's awful.
It's horrible. But that was a nasty dislocation of the knee, man. It looked really, really bad. So, and I feel like at his age and that bad of an injury, I could imagine his career is not going to be the same going forward.
Right. And he has coming off of like this last couple of years were like his worst statistical years.
Yeah, for sure.
Career.
Oh, yeah. Tua's been bad. He's been bad.
That Miami offense, I mean, it came and it caught a few people by surprise, but since then people have adjusted, and, it's either really boom or bust, and it's been mostly bust lately. But they did get their win, but it's against the Jets. So you got to take that with the grain of salt. and see. But I still think Mike Macdonald is on the hot seat. I don't think he.
Oh yeah, I tweeted this or not tweeted it. What is it? I threaded this yesterday, and I said leave it up to the Jets to make the Miami offense look great. You know what I'm saying? but yeah, they're still not good. The offense wasn't even that good. You know, see, A-Chain did amazing as always. He kills it. He's the best player on their team easily. But you know, they still look mediocre on offense. And then the Jets too. That's another thing I want to talk about too. Sauce Gardner mentioned something about like when you're a team that's not winning, one of the lower teams, you don't get the calls that other teams get. And even though the Dolphins were also 0-3 at the time of that game, I tend to agree with them. I do, because if you were really like watching that game, because obviously none of us are Dolphin and Jet fans, there was a ton of plays that should have gotten the Jets like 15-yarders. Like the amount of hands to the face and things of that nature. The amount of calls where Justin Fields got tackled out of bounds, like 5 yards out of bounds. It was like 3 times. It was really, really, really bad last night, and I couldn't help but to agree with them, man. Like, because they missed a lot, and like it almost seemed like it was what's the word I'm looking for? It was like these refs got to be accountable at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that, or like I know they can't do it because of game time and management, but like coaches got to be able to like challenge everything. You know what I'm saying? Like you still only get the 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? If you get it right,
but just open it up to like those other calls too.
Like you guys missed this, and this was horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like because Jets kind of got hoed last night. They got hoed pretty bad.
Well, I agree with him too. And Anthony Weston says Sauce holds a lot though, and I get what you're saying.
He holds every play.
He's a physical corner, but I totally agree. And what I liken it to is the metaphor in boxing, where they always say like if you're gonna beat the champ, you got to do more, right? If you're the champ, you get a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. And I think for years we've seen that with, certain ones like different offensive lines. They're like, oh, they never allow a sack, or they always protect really well. So, but all of a sudden, like that kind of is the assumption and the kind of the opinion of kind of everyone. And so then when the refs are seeing it, they're like, oh, they get away with a little bit more holding. They push off a little bit more because it's just like, well, that's just kind of like what we think they are already or whatever. And I do think that opinion gets swayed, and our judgment can get swayed by having that bias of thinking a certain thing. And when you're a bad team, it's easier to throw penalties on them because they're like, oh, they're always making mistakes. They're heavily penalized. They grab a lot. So I do kind of think that when you're playing bad, it's like some of those things kind of pile on. So
the offensive line didn't help with all the freaking like false starts and stuff. But it was more of the things that were like, unnecessary roughness, things like those that just didn't get called at all for the Jets yesterday, and they missed a lot of them. Legal hands to the face, they missed a couple of times. One of their offensive line lost his whole helmet, like it was gone. Like I was like, how are y'all missing these, bro?
Yeah,
like it was so bad. And then to only lose by 6 when a lot of that could have helped. But I think they had 2 early costly turnovers. I think a fumble and an interception or 2 fumbles, something like that. So, it's not like the Jets didn't, do enough to win or lose. It was just, officiating was really, really bad in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. For sure. Anthony says, which franchise is more inept than the Jets? It's hard to tell, but Unk says Browns.
Sure.
Tyreek needs to keep playing all child support for all them kids is no joke.
For real.
But yeah, I did want to talk a little bit about the Packers and the Cowboys game. And really, I know this might come back to help either team or whatever, but to me, I'd almost rather just lose than tie.
Dog. Like, I'm so glad you said that. I'm going to talk about it too.
I need a conclusion, I need a resolution here. That was such a big game. Obviously, all the talk about that guy that got traded, and I was saying like if we play a drinking game, like we'll be on the floor because I did count like in the first quarter alone, like the name was mentioned like 27 times, like just and that's not even the pregame. That's from like when the announcer started in the booth to like first into the first quarter. And I
they
just
just
think
kept
like
panning to him too. I'm like, bro's just on the sideline looking at a tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
God.
I do think it's just like I get it, it's a big story, but they gotta be go a little bit deeper for us, or at least just like don't have to, kill it to death. Like just touch on it, mention it when you need to, then move along. But everything that they talked about, whether it was Green Bay's offense, well, they got Micah Parsons now, or when it was, whatever it was, it just kept coming back to him, and it wasn't just about him, you know what I'm saying? And I think the Cowboys were a little bit fired up for that, especially the rest of the defense, even though they couldn't stop a bloody nose. But it sucks because I do have to say, like, Dak is playing really well. I think they're going to ruin like what could have been a really good season with him, with the offense not being able to stop somebody. And I think these are kind of they're looking like the Cincinnati Bengals of last year, where it's like they can score a lot of the time they get the ball, but their defense is never going to stop anybody, and they're going to have to win shootouts only, which is crazy. And Pops does say they gave Parsons his only sack. It was a tackle for no gain. I know
for sure.
That was like
so whack.
And that was a judgment call too, because Dak fell forward and they're like, oh, it's no gain. And they're like, oh, if it's no gain, it's a sack. I'm like, that's weak, man. Like,
yeah, that was so weak. They were looking for any reason to give that man a sack, having in the fourth quarter. And I was like,
overtime.
Yeah, right, overtime. Yeah. And that's funny. So I don't want to cut you off, but I do want to talk about overtime. And it's funny because Anthony said this. I'm like, Ant, did I tell you this? I was talking about it, so I know Dave, but I can't remember if I talked about it with Anthony too. So I was like, the NFL cannot be the only league, professional league, who has games in an overtime. Like, honestly, like we talked about this, them adopting, the college football rules would honestly be the best way to go. But if the game ends up in a tie after the first overtime, field goal, kicker off, bro. Start at the 30, and then if you keep making it, you just keep going back 10 yards, 30, 40, 50, and like the kicker who misses it at whatever they land on, that team loses. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they're not just free kicks. Like, the defense is still coming after them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
So, yeah. So it's not like they're just getting they can block it, whatever. So it's not just free kicks. But there should not be ties in the NFL, dog. Like, there just shouldn't. Like that. Neither one of those teams are my teams, and like ties just piss me off every time I see one. It's so frustrating. Like, there's no reason like the NFL should have ties. That's so crazy to me.
I know. Like, you could do, and I get it. Like, but this isn't soccer. This isn't the original football where it's like sometimes you just have a tie. Like, no, like you need a resolution, and especially if anything for like the money implications and the big time primes. Like, this is a Sunday night football game. Everybody's watching, and it's like that's it. Like, it's just gonna end like that. Like, no, like I think the field goal one would be kind of dope. But yeah, something, and it'd be kind of like almost like a shootout in soccer, like a shootout in hockey. Like,
exactly,
do the first overtime, maybe even make it 15 minutes instead of 10, because that 10 minutes goes by fast,
so quick,
and then do the field goal off or something like that. But
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Afterwards,
I was mad though that the Packers, and to me, I get it, sort of, but I was kind of like, I guess I shouldn't say mad, but it's kind of whack though that the Packers like just ran the clock out. Like, they intentionally ran the clock out because they didn't want to give the Cowboys a chance to kick another field goal or whatever, right? And they know Aubrey has a big leg. They wouldn't have to move the ball far. But I'm like, you're basically then conceding the tie. Like,
exactly.
You're trying to waste all the time knowing like, okay, at this point, the best we can do is tie. Like, that's kind of weak to me. Like, just go for it. But the other only thing I thought of is not exactly the college rules, but where like after overtime, each team just gets a possession and it's first and goal from like the 25 though. You got 4 plays to score, or you kick your field goal or whatever, and that's it. Like, do something like that. I think that'd be kind of gangster.
And I feel like the field goal kicker off thing works for me too, because like I get it. Like, football is a very physical sport. You already did an overtime, but the field goal thing just kind of it kills that, right? You did the overtime, it's still tied. Now you go into something that doesn't keep these guys from, it can happen, but no one's probably getting hurt, with a field goal off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, yeah,
a kickoff or kicker off, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to call it. But like, these games just can't end in ties, man. Like, it's just, I don't know. And I know these dudes hate it too. No way these guys went home like, oh, well, at least we tied.
Right.
Nobody
now
is.
at the end of the
one.
season, if the Packers are tied with somebody for wins and they get that spot because they don't have as many losses or whatever, now they're going to feel okay with it. But at the same time, yeah, like I'd almost just rather lose like than just go with the tie. Like, nobody wins. But the thing is, the funniest part to me, it's the perfect analogy for the whole trade with Micah Parsons. Like nobody wins. Like everybody, like, I guess the Packers could win in the long run, but they have to pay out all that money. The Cowboys could win in the long run, but they have to hit on those draft picks. But at the end of the day, it's like it never should have happened.
Right.
Like the trade never should have happened. And like I said, Micah looked sad. And it's weird, but it's like I don't like when they're like talking about all this, like he was shocked, he never thought it was happening, he was blindsided. Like you asked for a trade though.
Yeah.
So like
things didn't fall through the way you wanted, and you asked for a trade.
So don't act like you're blindsided now.
Yeah.
That's so weird. But I do think the kickoff will be dope. Anthony said, Loki, I'd take Dak over Hurts, all teams equal for sure.
Yeah.
Like Dak, I'm telling you, man, and it sucks because we can always go back or whatever. But 2 years ago, like before his injury, like he was having like an MVP level season. 2 years ago, he was second in the MVP vote.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then last year, like things weren't going so great, but he didn't play a full season. He got hurt. And now like he's looking back to that, like, kind of sort of MVP-ish level in the stats he's going to put up. But it's crazy because, so far this year, number one offense yard per game, number last in defense yards per game. And it just sucks, man, because it's like if they could just stop anybody, or if you feel like if they could just do 2 stops in a row, that, okay, the Cowboys could do it. But I can't lie, it was kind of fun seeing the offenses go back and forth up the field. Like they just kept changing leads back and forth, back and forth. But we saw this in the other overtime game, the Giants, where it's like they can't stop anybody.
I know. It's crazy. I think the craziest thing about it is like the offense is, I think like it's weird. The last good amount of years, it's like Cowboys just can't have decent both. Defense will be really good and offense ain't there. Offense will be legitimate, defense ain't there. It's like you just can't win, you know what I'm saying? But it's like the defense is bad when like all these teams that have no wins play y'all, and then their offense just looks really good.
They look like
Bears looked good, Giants looked good.
Yep.
Green Bay obviously is already a good team, but it's like dang, like
I'm surprised Green Bay didn't score more.
Defense. Oh, me too.
Because going into that game, I'm like, oh, they're just going to take the top off this defense. So even though it ended up being 40, the defense actually, which is, I can't even say that. Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but defense actually looked better.
It's weird when they have something to prove. It's like when they have something to prove, they come to play a little bit better. The defense played good against the Eagles. It's weird, like you said. It's like they put up 40, but that was in overtime too. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean, to an extent. So it's like it's just kind of weird. It's like when they want to play, they play well, but other games, it's like, oh, we're playing the Bears, we're gonna take the night off.
Right. And they just got way off script with that game. It was bad, but
Anthony
West is starting to like Dak a lot more. Pop says Dakota is a badass. He gets no credit and is heavily criticized for no reason. And it's true. And it's not necessarily no reason, but it's just those crucial moments that people hold on to. They hold on to his lows and they don't really like see how he has actually excelled. If this dude was on a lot of different teams, like he could put people out there. Yeah, Anthony West said that's why I said if you put Dak on the Eagles team, they're scoring 50 a game. So but Noah agrees. He said Dak played well. So yeah. Okay.
Sure.
We're gonna have to quick hit some things really. We're gonna have to oh my bad. I somehow rolled way forward. We're gonna have to do a quick hitter really quickly on a few things. This one, I just want you to tell me real quick who has the best chance of getting their first win this week. The Titans play at the Cardinals. The Jets host the Cowboys, actually, and then the Giants play the Saints. So out of these winless teams, who has their best chance of getting a win this weekend?
I want to pick the Titans, but I'm not. I'm going to go with the Saints.
Titans, Cardinals, Saints, Giants. I kind of think it's the Saints too, but Jets, Cowboys, the Jets offense, watch out. Justin Fields, they're gonna go for 400 yards. So
and they probably are too, which is crazy to think about. I'm with Pops. I want to say the Titans because Kyler Murray he's still Kyler Murray. And I know Cam Ward had a lot to say this past weekend about the team and how they played. So hope if they come to play, man, like they can definitely catch the Cardinals off guard for sure.
Yeah. Anthony Weston says Saints didn't look bad Sunday. Stephanie said, man, if we don't whoop on the Jets, that's what I'm saying. We should. But I'm ready for anything. I'm not taking anything for granted. But no, we should be able to beat down the Jets, hopefully. We'll see though. But yeah, that's funny. Pop says Titans as well. So all right. Let's see what we got next really quickly. NCAA, Georgia, man, I don't know what it is, but that elephant just always gets them. And I think like there's a lot of second guessing with Kirby Smart as far as like you can kick the field goal to tie, or there was like that play on the drive before where like dude was wide open, dropped a wide open touchdown, which Georgia would have taken the lead.
Yeah.
So I get it where there's some people that are critical of coach right now, but like as a head coach, you have like thousands of decisions to make every game. And it sucks that like, even though all of them could be right, it still leads you to that one that you make that could, perceivably be wrong. But hindsight's 2020. If we go for it on 4th and 1 and we crash through, we score a touchdown right there. Oh, look at this, look at that. Or, they did a great call there, but of course we don't get it. And it's like, oh, you should have taken the points. But what my thing is that at the end of the day, Bama was looking great in the first half and they didn't score in the second half. You expect your team to be able to score, and put yourself back in the game if you can actually adjust on defense and shut that team down. And that's one thing I have to say for Kirby Smart is that he always makes the halftime adjustments in order to keep his team in the game regardless. And he did it again this year, but it just didn't work out. Just a little too many things. And I do think like at home in front of the crowd, like he didn't want to tie. Like he wanted to take the lead. And he was thinking, even if we don't get it, we're going to stop them again. We're going to get the ball back again, which they did. But it just wasn't enough, man. But Georgia wasn't only top 10 team going down. Penn State lost. And LSU lost. So a lot of movement in the top 25, but it's really still early. And I feel like a lot of these teams are kind of even. This might be one of the best years for the playoff where you don't know who's going to be that dominant team. So we'll see. Let me get these comments real quick, and then I'll ask you if you got anything for college football. Kelly said, boo, Bama, for sure. This just sucks. Moms said, hi, friends. Welcome to the show. Anthony West says, is MIZ, and they did a great job this week. They're up to 19th. They had their homecoming, and then they have a bye week, and then Alabama. So that should be a big game.
I know. OU snuck into the top 5, so I was like, let's go, man. Our defense actually looks good for a change, finally.
Yeah, they do. And representing the SEC, because the SEC has a cheat code. Like, no matter what, there's always an SEC team in the top 5. Georgia and LSU were going to fall out, and boom, they replaced them with 2 other ones that jumped up there. So,
for real.
Stephanie Watch says NCAA OT rules now. They're weird too, but at least they don't end a tie. At least they just keep going.
I know. It's different, but it's still kind of the same.
Alex says, why is Notre Dame still ranked? It sucks. They're a decent team. They had two losses already, though. And the craziest thing to me is I'm not as mad about them being ranked now that they've got a couple of victories. But 2 weeks ago, they were 0-2, and they were still ranked in the top 25, which kind of was a little bit weird, where it's like, okay, they haven't literally won one game. So we'll see. But, yeah, that's good stuff there. Okay, next up, I do want to touch on really quickly the Mercury advancing to the WNBA Finals.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go to a game.
I'm thinking about going to game 1. Yeah.
So is it going to be game 1, or is it going to be the third game 3, or is it not? Are we not sure yet? Are they going to host?
I thought we have game 1 and 2. I could be wrong. I did look at prices, and lower level is only about $100 a ticket. It's like $90.
Let's go, man. Let's go. I want to go.
No, for sure. I'm with it too. I went to the elimination game against the Liberty, and I was so hyped, bro. In there, it was crazy.
It's really cool.
And then we finally beat we never beat the Lynx, bro. Lynx always have our number. So seeing us get past them, I was like, I'm going to a finals game, dog. Like I'm out there. But so yeah, let's I'll get it together. And I'll get the tickets and I'll let you know.
Work it out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. I definitely want to go because I've been talking about going all year, and now that they made it to the finals and they beat the last year's two finalists.
Yeah, exactly.
Like last year, we were thinking it might even be a rematch or something like that. The Liberty and the Lynx were going at it in the finals last year. They beat both of them. And tonight, it's either the Aces or the Fever, and that game just started.
Yeah.
I think the Mercury, they would wash the Fever. They don't even have Caitlin Clark.
I know.
But the Aces will be a better matchup because they've gone back and forth. I'm hoping that it's the Aces though, still, because I just want to see. I want to see some good.
They got the size.
Good ones. Yeah.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah. Stephanie Washington said Aces versus Fever, do or die. Yeah. So hopefully Aces come through. It'll just be more fun. But yeah, I definitely want to see. Mom said Dogs gave up. Dang. I don't think they gave up.
Think so? I don't think they gave up.
I just think it didn't work out. I just think that they reached too far. And it's weird because they just went away from, like, normally they'd be conservative, kick the field goal, play defense, do that kind of thing. And they tried, but it didn't work out. But I did look at that 4th and 1 play, the crucial play from the end zone view. And man, that play was like a half a block away and he would have scored a touchdown. So you just never know. We'll see. All right. Last thing to talk about really quickly is the postseason picture, man. Do you have a prediction? The wild card started today. I believe the Padres won.
Cubs won.
Oh, the Cubs won. They did win. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So the Cubs won, and then the Tigers won so far, and everybody's playing tonight. So you got the Red Sox and Yankees, and then the Dodgers Reds still gonna happen.
I think Red Sox won. Yeah, Red Sox won. Cubs won. Tigers won, and Dodgers and Reds are playing right now.
Okay. Man, that sucks. I hope the Yankees. I was thinking. I'm feeling still a rematch from last year. I kind of feel like Dodgers Yankees, even though neither of those teams got the bye.
You know me. I'm rolling with the Cubs.
Yeah,
you know me. I'm rolling with the Cubs. You know me. But like, it's kind of crazy. Like, I honestly, a rematch would be dope because again, it's Dodgers Yankees. They still have like two of the best lineups, point blank period. But man, I would kind of love to see my Cubs go against either Tigers or Seattle for some reason, man. Like, I like the way both of those teams look this year. I'll be honest, Riley Green, a lot of those dudes made me a ton of money this season. and so did the Cubs. Yeah, so I'm low key, you know what I'm saying? Low key. Riley Green was my dude. Like, I feel like every time I bet on him, he came through for me. But you know, it's always fun kind of seeing different teams, but I mean, come on, man, it's Dodgers Yankees, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't get much better than that in regards to MLB championship, but yeah, right. Cubs getting back in would be dope for me. But the Mariners have had a crazy season. Cal Rayleigh's had over 60 plus home runs for the regular season, so he killed it. But yeah, man, a lot of really good teams and a lot of.
I don't know if I froze up or you froze up. I think I froze up.
I froze up. That's my fault.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, my fault. It's funny. You froze up for me a little bit ago, then I just froze up right now. But I was just saying it's crazy that like the wild card game or teams, so many teams won 80, 90 games this year.
Yeah, so, it was a tough year. Like, the Astros not making it at the end there, and even though they had such a good season, like it was a tough year. So that's why I think this is more wide open than ever. Where it's like, you know, all these teams are like in that like 80, 90 to 100 game win. Like, everybody had a great year that made it. So
Blue Jays versus the Cubs.
Yeah, Pops says Blue Jays Cubs. That'd be kind of gangster. I do think I still root for the Mariners as far as like my fandom for King Griffey on the side a little bit. So that'd be kind of cool. But I love the Dodgers too, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Onk says anybody but Yankees or Dodgers.
Sorry, man. I just really mess with Ohtani. Ohtani is the one reason why I can sit up here and just root for the Dodgers. I can't root for him over my Cubs, but like I love to see Cubs Dodgers in the what's it called, finals.
Yeah, yeah. Anthony says Brewers Mariners. That would be like one of the most unlikely, but at the same time, two really good teams. So we'll see. Kelly also said, I always have love for the Mariners. I mean, especially because we have Peoria Sports Complex right down the street. We'd always go to see the Mariners at spring training whenever it was like actually like $5 lawn seats, not when the way it is now. So
for real,
that's what's up.
So cheap back in the day.
Yeah. All right, cool. We'll leave it right there. We got to get rolling. But next week we're gonna have Marcus back. We want to give a big shout out to our brother Marcus, but we're going to have him. The other topic is him breaking down the Ryder Cup for us and what went wrong for Team USA. So he'll be able to do that. And then we'll continue to watch the WNBA Finals. We'll be hopefully reporting from that game. And if we go to the game here, and if it's the Aces, I know Stephanie Washington will be going over there. So we'll have coverage, you know what I'm saying, of both sides of that for the Slack family. So that's what's up. But
you might have to drive down and just go see him in Las Vegas too. It's up.
Strizzy's trying to get his bet on. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Brewers are still in Maryville. Yes, they are. So that's what's up. But Yes, but until next time, we'll keep it moving. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys for Secure the Bag on Thursday. But that was Say Like a Champ episode 318. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy.
Peace.